ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ప్లస్ యూఎస్ఏలో చదవాలనుకుంటున్నారా? మాస్టర్స్ ఇన్ డేటా అనలిటిక్స్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నారా? కాన్కోరియా యూనివర్సిటీ సెయింట్ పాల్ ప్రత్యేకతలేంటి? కాన్కోరియా యూనివర్సిటీ సెయింట్ పాల్ అడ్మిషన్ ప్రొసీజర్పై ఇంటర్నేషనల్ స్టూడెంట్ సర్వీస్ డైరెక్టర్ టిఫ్నీ లోబ్ మనతో ఉన్నారు. అడ్మిషన్ వివరాల గురించి వారిని అడిగి మరిన్ని వివరాలు తెలుసుకుందాం. హాయ్ టిఫ్నీ.
Hi.
Whenever we hear about the USA, we have so much all the Indian students have a passion to go USA and study there. So may I know the details of the university?
Yeah, of course. So our name is Concordia University.Saint Paul. So we're located in the city of St. Paul, Minnesota, which is the capital city. And our university was founded in 1893. And we're in an area called the Twin Cities because St. Paul and Minneapolis are cities that are right next to each other. And so when students come to study at Concordia University.Saint Paul, they kind of get the best of both worlds, we like to say, because we're a small, close-knit campus, but you also get the benefits of being in a big urban area. So I like to tell students that you can walk across our entire campus in 15 minutes, and you can get to know all your professors and the staff that are on campus. But also you really get the benefit of everything that's going on in the Twin Cities. So there are always a lot of activities and events that students can attend. When students get ready to have internships or some work experience in their field, there are a lot of companies in the area as well. We have a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are headquartered in the Twin Cities and a lot of tech companies as well. So we find that students can really go out and have really good opportunities to build their future when they come study with us.
Can we get to know about the infrastructure about the university?
Yeah, so we have some, do you mean in terms of how the campus is set up in that style? Yeah. So when students come to our campus, they'll find it's about 20 different buildings. And so there are some residence halls that are there. There are different student services that are there. We have a large library where students can study and get help from librarians. We have an IT help desk and a bookstore on campus. And so I think it's really nice because it's a small, accessible campus, but it really has everything that students need.
That's fantastic. And can we know about the programs offered there?
Yes, definitely. So for undergraduate programs, we have over 70 that are available for students, but the most common ones, and I think the most popular ones that we see our international students really liking are business, international business, nursing, computer science, community health science, and graphic design are really popular. And then on the PG side, we have MBA, Data Analytics, and Information Technology Management. And we also have some education programs, which are educational leadership and differentiated instruction.
Okay.
And so we tend to see, especially our ITM and data analytics and MBA, be very popular programs for students.
Okay. For all graduate and undergraduate students or also? Is it for?
So the ITM and data analytics programs are just at the master's level. And in those programs, they have the opportunity to learn from faculty that have also worked in their field. And so the nice thing is that the faculty at Concordia can also be mentors to the students in really talking to them about their future career plans and possibilities to work in the field. And they really do a good job, especially in the master's program, of making sure that students get that practical experience while they're studying with us to make it easier for them to go out and find that first step in their career once they graduate.
Okay. What are the admission requirements for undergraduate as well as graduate students?
Sure. So for our admission requirements, we look for an application, an official transcript, a bank statement to show the cost of attendance, and then also an English proficiency score. And we look for those for both undergraduate and graduate students. But also on the undergraduate side, we need a NACES eval to show the equivalency of study in the US. But on the graduate side, we're able to do those evaluations in-house. And then on the graduate side, we also ask for a personal statement just so students can explain why they're interested in the program and why they think that program is a good fit for them and their future goals.
Okay. What are the dates of program starts?
So on the undergraduate side, students can start in the fall and the spring in any of the undergraduate programs. And on the graduate side, students can start in the fall, spring, and summer. So that would be a September, January, and May start in those programs. And then for both undergraduate and graduate admission applications, the deadlines for those are 2 months before the start of the semester. So we like to give students just enough time to get that application in, get their acceptance letter, have time to do their visa interview before preparing to come study at Concordia University.
Okay. Students think that it is all a long process to do this, everything. So is it really a long process?
That's a great question, and we get that one a lot. It's definitely a concern for students. So we like to tell students that once you have all of those documents in that we need, within about 10 business days, we can make an admission decision and give you an I-20. So we like to do it pretty quickly for students because we know there's so many steps, especially I think these days scheduling your visa appointment is a little tricky. We hear that from so many students that it's getting a little harder. So on our side, we try to move really quickly to help students out so that they can schedule those things, and then so that they have time to schedule plane tickets and plan their move to St. Paul.
Also a very important subject, cost of the study.
Exactly.
For graduate and undergraduate.
Sure. So on the undergraduate side, for 2 semesters, we ask for students to show 35,000 USD for their bank statement because this will cover tuition and cost of living and other expenses for their I-20. And then on the graduate side, we ask for students to show 35,000, which will cover actually 3 semesters of study, plus cost of living and extra expenses as well. And additionally, on our undergraduate side, we have a lot of scholarships that are available for students. And those scholarships come from the student's GPA. So students with a good GPA of 3.0 or above on the 4-point scale can be eligible for scholarships with us. And those scholarships carry over every year that they study with us too. And the thing that I think is nice about the scholarships is that students don't actually have to apply for those. They just get automatically awarded when they apply to Concordia if they're eligible for that. So I like to tell students that it's worth it to apply and just see what scholarships you can get, and then you can make your choice. And in addition to that, we also have some undergraduate scholarships for talent. So if students are participating in theater or music, they're eligible for more scholarships, and also athletics. So if students join one of our sports teams and are a student athlete with us, they can also be eligible for scholarships for that. So a lot of good scholarships are available on the undergraduate side as well.
Okay. This is fantastic.
Yeah, I think
apart from the education, they're getting additional benefits like scholarship form.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's really, really beneficial to the students, and usually when students find out what scholarships they get, they're just so happy.
They don't need to have work outside then.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
And can we know about the accommodation? Is there any inside campus accommodation available for the students?
We do have several residence halls on our campus that students can live in. So we have a residence hall for first-year men and women, and then we have a residence hall that's apartment style for all of the students after their first year where they can live. So mostly undergraduates live on campus, but graduate students are welcome to live on campus as well if they would like to. The thing we like to just tell students is to apply early for the residence halls because they're very popular and they tend to fill up quickly so that they could get a spot. And the cost of living in the residence halls is about $10,000 US per year.
And how many students can accommodate?
It's about 1,000 students.
Okay.
So, so that's why we say just apply early to make sure you can get your spot.
First come, first serves.
Exactly, that's right.
Right. On-campus placements, do you offer any?
So we do have some what we call on-campus jobs for students, and so those are available, and the way students can find those is by searching for the job posting and then applying directly and interviewing directly with that department. And so the way that works on our campus is that we have an Office of Career Development, and they help students with everything from making a US style resume and a US style cover letter to searching for on-campus jobs. They can even help finding off-campus jobs for internships or after graduation. And so students can really use that office for help to find on-campus jobs and just understanding the US, I would say, application and job search process more easily. And so we do have many of our international students that are able to find a job and work on campus to get experience and build their resume.
Okay, and many of the students have a doubt that they'll be preferred very less for the on-campus jobs. So is it true or not?
You know, that's not my experience. When I think about campus, I can think about most departments that have had international students actually working in them. So I think the thing that helps students the most to find on-campus jobs is really working with the Office of Career Development, because they really want to create a really nice US style resume and learn how to write a really nice US style cover letter, because then that just helps the employer understand their interest and their qualifications more easily so that they can get that opportunity to interview more easily.
Oh, what kind of companies come for the placements, on-campus placements?
Sure. So our Office of Career Development has relationships with a lot of different companies that are around the Twin Cities. And so some of the companies we see are larger ones like Target or Medtronic that are headquartered in the Twin Cities, and they might come for different roles. Sometimes they're looking for developers or analysts and those kind of roles. But then we also see a lot of smaller companies that are in the Twin Cities as well that will come to campus to look to fill their roles. So I think our Career Development Office does a good job of bringing in a variety of employers so that students have a chance to meet with them and talk to them and find out what openings they might have.
Okay, and many of them want to know about the climatic conditions over there.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So in Minnesota, we're actually located sort of in the northern central part of the United States. And so we just border Canada on the north side. So we like to say that we actually have all 4 seasons in Minnesota. So students who come there will get to experience a climate with fall, spring, winter, and summer.
Okay.
And I think it's a lot of fun because in the summertime, you really see people out enjoying the nice weather. So it will get really hot, and we have a lot of parks and rivers and lakes. So you'll see people just out enjoying, exercising, spending time with their families and friends. And then students can also experience fall with the leaves changing colors and just going out and taking beautiful pictures and enjoying the scenery. And then we really have a true winter with snow. And so it's pretty fun for our international students because sometimes they tell me, this is my first time to ever be in snow. So then they can try to enjoy winter activities like skiing or ice skating or sledding, just some of those things for the first time. And then we also have a nice spring that starts around April. So then they can enjoy all the snow melting away and the flowers coming and the leaves coming back to the trees. So it's a great place to experience the 4 seasons. It's really nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And many of the students, from the international students, they work part-time jobs. Is it possible to work and also study?
It is possible. So when students want to work but also study, if they're thinking to work off campus, they'll need to do CPT or curricular practical training. So they'll need to get that work authorization, and it should relate to their major and be appropriate for their level of study. So on the undergraduate side, that usually looks like their program having an internship class. And so the student would register for the internship class, and then they'll be able to find a job or internship related to their major, and then they can get the approval for CPT from the International Student Services Office. And then on the graduate side, it looks similar. All of our graduate programs require practical work experience in each semester of the program. So students are able to find a job that relates to their program of study and then be approved through CPT for that, just so that they can really build that practical work experience while they're being a student in the program. And then I think especially on the master's side, it really helps students in the classroom because then they can bring the things they learn outside of the class into the classroom, and it really just helps the discussion and the learning for the students, but also their classmates. It really helps them to learn from each other.
Exactly. And what kind of student clubs and activities are done on campus?
So on campus, we have over 30 student clubs that students can join, and those are all free for students. So that's just one of the services that's included with their tuition. And so we have a lot of clubs that are for special interests. So, maybe different culture clubs. We do have an Indian Student Association, or ISA, that's very active on our campus. So students will be welcome to join that for events. We also have different offices on campus that will put on events. So, for example, our Office of International Student Services, every November we celebrate what's called International Education Week. And so we have a week of just celebrations and events where every day there's something fun for students to attend, like an international candy tasting event, we do an international music night, we do a culture fair where students can get a table with friends and showcase their culture to share with the campus. And it just creates a really fun environment for students and makes it easy to be involved on campus and spend time on campus, and I think get to know people on campus as well. So in addition to clubs and office activities, we also have what's called intramurals, and those are kind of like club sports. So those would be for students who really like sports and want to play, but maybe don't want to play on the university's team, but they still want to play just for recreation. And so they could join an intramural team. We have basketball, volleyball is really popular, but really students could start any intramural team that they want to. And the students really have a lot of fun with it. They set up tournaments with each other, they get trophies, they just have a really good time. So those are some of the ways that students can get involved on campus.
Superb. And how many students will be accommodated per class?
Per class. So on the undergraduate side, we don't have a limit. We have a total of all 4 years about 1,500 undergraduate students studying. And so every year we're able to kind of start as many undergraduates as are interested in our university. On the graduate side, this semester we actually started over 200 new students, and so we can accommodate a pretty large group of students. I think our faculty have done a good job of adding classes and sort of making it work for the students who are interested so that they can come and join and start in the programs.
Okay. Can we know about the programs available in Elaborate?
Sure. Yep. So especially on the graduate side, in the Information Technology Management program, that focus is really for students who want to work in IT, but they're more interested in being a manager or a project manager. So that program will really have a lot of classes that focus on the managing pieces. And the students even take a deep dive into learning more about themselves as a leader. So they'll do things like the Clifton Strengths Finder assessment, and they'll spend a lot of time understanding their strengths, and then what does that mean for me as a leader in IT? Or what strengths do I bring, and then what strengths do I need to find on my team to create that balance? And so I think that program really does a good job of setting students up to be leaders within IT. And so we do see students finishing that program and going on to do analyst roles, software engineer roles, IT support, those kind of things directly related to the program. And we've even seen a lot of our students go through OPT and then have their company sponsor them for H-1Bs, which is just always so exciting for the students and for us when we hear about that. And then on the data analytics side, there is actually a lot of crossover between the ITM program and the data analytics program, but the data analytics focuses more on the technical pieces. So that's a good fit for students who want to stay more within the technical side of IT. So that's kind of a new program that's specializing in that way. And then the MBA program is really for students who are interested in that business aspect of things. And I think the nice thing about the MBA program is that the faculty in that program have also worked in the business field. And so again, they're really bringing in that knowledge into the program. And that program also requires practical work experience
Exactly.
in the classes.
Yeah.
Again, giving the students just that good opportunity to go out, get some off-campus experience, and bring that back into the classroom so that they can really share that learning with their classmates and also learn more deeply themselves, but then also really learning the skills they need to be a good leader at their job as well. So I think those are the nice things that those programs do, and sort of the skills students can expect to get out of those programs as well.
Exactly. And what kind of soft skills are to be taught?
Yeah, so there's a lot of cooperation and teamwork that happen, which I think is kind of common in the US style classroom. So students will definitely have a lot of projects and a lot of team assignments that they'll do together, because the faculty really want to prepare students for that work environment where you might be doing a project in a team, or you might be working together with someone on something, and really preparing them. So really focusing on teamwork and cooperation and those communication skills, organization, prioritization. So really helping students build those soft skills that employers are looking for after graduation.
What are the entry requirements for a student?
Oh, sure. So in terms of our English language requirement, we have a variety of ways that students can meet that. So we're open to taking TOEFL test scores, Ielts test scores, and Duolingo test scores, which have become very popular for students over the last few years because it's so convenient. They can just take it online. So for Duolingo, we're looking for a score of 100, or Ielts, we're looking for a 6.0 for the graduate side. On the undergraduate side, students can do Ielts at 5.5. And so those are kind of the way they can meet our English language requirements. And then for undergraduates, for their GPA from high school, we're looking for at least a 3.0. And on the graduate side, we're looking for first class or first division and at least a 6.0 on the 10-point scale.
Okay. And once the student step into the campus, he need to be crossed many of the like paperwork or something. So is there any guide to?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So once students actually arrive to campus and they're studying with us, we have a whole Office of International Student Services staff that are there to help them. And there's 5 of us that work full-time in that office. And so we're there to greet the students when they first come to campus, help them turn in the required immigration paperwork. We're the ones who do all of the immigration reporting and advising for students. And so if students have questions about things like on-campus employment or off-campus employment, travel, changing their program or major, anything to do with their I-20, our office is there to advise them and support them. And out of our office, we also have one academic advisor who works with all of our students on the class registration side. So I think the nice thing about the Office of International Student Services is that we really try to have everyone there who can support the students so that they don't have to go from office to office to office. They can come and
There
talk.
will be no ambiguity about anything.
Exactly, because we're all there, and so they can come with a variety of questions, and we have enough people working in the office that we can answer most of their questions at one time.
Thank you so much for answering all the questions and making people understand about university. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was really nice to be here.
Thank you. ఇది వాటి ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ప్లస్ చూస్తూనే ఉండండి 10 TV.